good afternoon, or good morning. My name's Alexia Bedat. I'm a partner at Klaris. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks to Lawline for having me. And thank you for being interested in this topic. Today, we are going to talk about my favorite topic, and it's my favorite topic because it's what I spend most of my time doing, which is negotiating podcast talent agreements, as you can see on the slide. There we go. All right, there's my details there on the slide. If you have any questions following this presentation that haven't been answered, or if you'd like to get in touch, would love to hear from you. Today, the goal of this webinar is to talk about the basics of podcast talent agreements. You might be someone who is used to negotiating these deals, in which case would love to hear your perspective in the Q&A. You may be new to these agreements, and so we'll go, a mix of relatively high level, but also get into detail and hopefully provide you with enough context to walk away with a better sense of how to approach these deals. We'll look at the key things to keep in mind when negotiating podcast agreements, and we'll also look as part of that at a template, not really a template as much as a fictitious term sheet between talent and a production company, which should help put some context on the topics that we'll be covering. And then we'll conclude with a little bit more of a high level conversation of how podcast deals are changing. The legal disclosure, which I have to say, is that this is not intended to be legal advice. It's for educational purposes. You should consider it solely in that context. And if you have any questions when it comes to specifically negotiating your deals, I suggest you get in touch with someone. And I say this, of course, because I have to, but also this is an area like all, but depending on who your client is, whether you typically represent independent creators, if you're representing the podcaster, are you representing the production company who is negotiating the deal with the talent? Are you representing talent who's negotiating a deal with a production company? Or are you representing talent who's negotiating a deal directly with a network? So it really is going to depend, obviously, which side you're on. And in terms of that, please keep that in mind. I'll try and do, the goal of this presentation is to provide a point of view from both of those angles. And that is especially the case because